You're very welcome to the Salvation Show. Just before we go to our guest, we just ask you if it would be possible if you could subscribe to us on the YouTube channel, follow us on Spotify, and even like us on our Facebook page. So now, our first guest.
Complacency, I'm guilty of breaking my own rules. Can't walk straight in my new shoes. Nothing but the same old story. Deja vu. Stuck in the groove. Hard white blues. Complacency, I'm just like a rat on a treadmill. Chasing after my own tail, I give in to my muse. Say what's new. Stuck in the groove, hard white blues. And I said, baby, it ain't right for you to judge me at all. No, it ain't right for you to let me always take the fall. You say it's my fault every time we hit that wall. Now we've hit that wall. I guess I'm just kidding myself. No one to blame but me. It's hard to face up to the facts. Let the truth be told. Stuck in the groove, hard white blues. Complacency, take my eye off of the game. Result always ends up just the same. Heads you win, tails I lose. I fall off of the wagon, cut and bruise. I'm still stuck in the groove, hard white blues. I got the hard white blues. Same old news, got the hard white blues. Same old news, I got the hard white blues.
Excellent stuff. I enjoy that. Really enjoy. Is that one that was written recently?
Yeah, it was probably written for the new record during the.
It's on this one.
It is on that one. That's on the new record.
Just to let people know it is available. We'll let you know more about that as we go along. You're very welcome, Ben Reel.
Thanks, buddy.
To the Salvation Show. Great song there. Ben, everyone knows Ben Reel. Everybody, all over the world, everyone knows Ben Reel.
It's news to me.
Yeah. When did it all start?
Well, it started probably just when I left school. Formed my first band when I was 17.
Is that Breed of Fumes?
That was no Promised Land.
Oh, Promised Land.
Yeah. And actually, our first gigs were in Dundalk. We used to play in the Air Inn, upstairs in the Air Inn,
carrying the gear up.
And I remember we had some great gigs, and the Mine Shaft.
Yeah,
the Mine Shaft. It's actually
this way.
Yeah, it's down the street here.
Yeah,
it's actually the
Rum House.
The Rum. Oh, that was the Mine Shaft. Yeah.
See, the Mine Shaft. You had Hans Pub and the Tara.
Yeah.
And then it was bought in, and it's all in one now.
Yeah, I think most of our gigs were in Dundalk. There was another place in the corner there across from, it used to be upstairs, Stateside, was it American style bar?
That was in the Queen's Hotel. Yeah, the Stateside bar.
The Stateside bar upstairs, yeah. So I remember, we used to be playing, maybe, I'd say, when we started, maybe, for a 4-piece band, we were getting, I actually found an old book, and it was like, 70 quid for a gig, for a 4-piece band.
Unbelievable. Isn't it great? But a lot of money behind it. What was that, 80s, was it?
1989 was the start of it, you know. And then, you know, with Promised Land, with all lads from Cross McGlen, I'm from Silverbridge, and then, from the start, like we started just playing like Beatles and U2 and Springsteen. That's what covers, and then, but I always wanted to write, so I was writing right from the start. But I'd say in about a year and a half, 2 years after that, we had a full set of our own stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then we changed the name to Trim the Velvet. And, we did pretty well. We toured all over Ireland and stuff, and we almost made it.
Yeah, well, I remember seeing Trim the. I think it was Trim the Velvet. You were playing at the Square outdoor.
Yes, that's right.
The Square. I remember seeing. I said, "She's very." And then that was like myself.
Was that the night the riot happened?
Yeah. No. You didn't play U2. Well, but I remember seeing it. I said, "She's a very, very talented singer," and that was just out with the long hair. Yeah. When we had hair.
Well, I remember there was it ended up. I remember my drummer came from behind the drums that night to attack to bust some guy that was trying to get up on the stage. Then all hell broke loose.
Yeah, but I think that happens. That happens with bands, and you know, you work so hard, you get on a stage, and then someone else wants to share it with you. Yeah, but not in a nice way.
I remember it didn't end too well that night.
But it was an experience.
Which was all part of the fun. It was all part of rock and roll. Rock and roll and riots, you know.
Yeah,
that's
all part. Well, in them days, like, it wasn't sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It was just rock and roll and riots.
Yeah.
And so you went on. You went on from then to.
Yeah, well, I think the band Trim the Velvet, we kind of run out of steam around. You know, as lads were getting older, and we were thinking about shit. We better get a job or something. You know,
a real job.
A real job. So around '96, I think I was winding down, and then I was kind of disillusioned for. We went back to working on the roofs and stuff, and disillusioned for a couple of years. And I think one day then I was up on the roof on a real cold winter's day, and the rain was hitting me sideways. And I just had an epiphany, you know.
Yeah.
And I just fired the hammer down on the ground, walked down the ladder, and the boss says, "Where are you going? This roof has to be finished. It's near 6 o'clock." And blah, blah, blah. I says, I quit. And I just got into the car and drove off. And that was it. That's when I started the solo thing as Ben Reel, you know. My Christian name is Brendan, but I don't know why I chose the name Ben. Maybe it was a mistake. There's too many bloody Bens out there.
No, but there's only one Ben Reel. There's only one real Ben.
It probably works. It was a tour out in Holland. It works in Holland because they said, I suppose they say it's been real, you know. It's Ben Reel. Yeah. And then Ik Ben Reel Ik Ben means my name is, so if you say Ik Ben Reel, my name is Ben Reel. So it works in Holland.
Get the German market.
Double Ben. I'm sure, but when you were on the roof, they just say, I can do better. I want to become a star.
Well, I just says, Jesus, what am I doing here? You know, I should be playing music. You know, I should be, because, you know, it was a tough job I was doing. I was getting paid, you know, feck all as well, you know. So I says, right, enough of this, you know, I can, and then I says, I just had a vision to go for it, you know, and just
but that happens that way, you know, like, I'm sure if you hadn't thrown that hammer and got off the roof, you'd still be on that fucking roof.
Yeah, well, that's it. I used to I used to dread Monday mornings, you know, just and then thinking of the full week ahead, you know, and then just Friday you just go and get slaughtered. You leave Friday to get ready for Monday. So and I think then, you know, then I had the clear vision as well that I wanted to be in control this time, you know, as because with the band, you know, it's a 4-thing democracy, and they always don't. You've only got a quarter say. So I says, right, this time round, I'm the boss. And if anyone argues with me, you're sacked. Exactly. And some fella walking down the street talking to himself, you know, are you okay? He said, I'm self-employed, I'm having a meeting. But that's the way, you see, you had so many ideas, and you can't put ideas across to band members. Yeah.
You know, you have so many things in your head. And I find that when you put it across and see different people, they say, oh, no, that wouldn't work. And let's try it. You know, if it doesn't work, we'll do something else. But nobody else wants to do it. You see, that's the worst about a musician's brain. We've got loads in now, but you have to try it.
There's an example, like, remember one song that my old band, Bendit, says, no, I don't like that. But it became one of my biggest songs hits, for Ben Reel, a song called All Souls Alive, you know. So it was kind of a... Yeah, what do they know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're only a drummer. You're not a musician. That's to say, what do you call a fella that hangs around with musicians?
So then I suppose, so when that happened, kind of, then I started recording first of all, I was just going out doing solo gigs, you know.
Were you doing covers at the time, yeah?
Well, I was doing, I just started... When I started out, I just was going out and doing mixture of covers and my own songs, maybe 50-50, you know, and getting a few gigs, just solo gigs around bar to get the confidence up, kind of that there. And then slowly but surely, then I formed a band, you know, Ben Reel band. Yeah. Actually the first band that was I met a bass player from Belfast. He was a black guy, and he was into his real funk and soul and slapping and that. Yeah. So the first band was actually a kind of a real soul funky band, and with saxophone instead of guitar, you know, as the other instrument. So it was kind of cool, you know. It was that's when I was young and funky. Now I'm just old and country.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, but as you say, at least you tried the funk.
Yeah, but I suppose it was. But he introduced me to so much black music, you know, and it was brilliant because then you know, before that I wouldn't have. Probably got into that music only for him, you know.
But you don't, you know. Yeah, on the black music, you'd only hear the commercial side of it. Yeah, you know, there is some fabulous stuff that you don't hear of.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, you know.
And then when you do take it out, the people say, "Oh, that's brilliant. Who's that?" Yeah. You know, there is a lot of. I think that's what happened to Elvis. Elvis was the same. You know,
he grew up with it. You know,
he grew. You know,
in the churches and the gospel.
I should have thought that there was two instances. There was Elvis. When he was on the radio, they thought it was a black man. Yeah. And when Nat King Cole was on the radio, they thought he was a white man.
No way, yeah.
You know, it's just, it was there. They'd done their own thing.
So even like Van Morrison, that people thought he was a black man.
Yeah.
But because he grew up listening to old jazz and soul and blues records, you know.
With blues, well, I know you sort of waved over the country. With blues being your favourite, or funk, or...
well, I wouldn't say a favourite, you know.
Yeah, but who influenced you?
You know, I suppose the best... Well, I suppose at the beginning, I suppose the three, you know, well, the Beatles, of course.
Yeah, of course.
It's probably not, you know, it goes without saying, you know. And then, well, the three guys probably, you know, actually four. Springsteen, Neil Young, Bob Dylan, Van Morrison, you know, that kind of thing, you know. Roy Orbison, Ray Charles, then Bob Marley, of course, as well, you know. Even James Brown, you know.
There's one you didn't mention, but I always thought you sound like him. It's James Taylor.
James Taylor, yeah. Well, I love James Taylor.
There's a bit of a... And I always thought that when I asked you this question, you were going to mention James Taylor.
Well, funny, it's only lately that I start, you know, let's get into more of James Taylor, you know.
No, he's very, very good.
Oh, he's brilliant.
But I remember meeting a friend of yours a few years ago. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, Hal Ketchum.
Yeah, that's right,
I remember we were interviewing him for the radio. Myself and Power Quigley were down, and he just says, you probably know a friend of mine. He says, Ben Reel. And he says, you know Ben? Oh, yeah, he says, good. And then I heard that when you were at his gigs, he called you up.
Yeah, we just met off chance one night. He had a night off. We were playing a gig in Marrowfeld, town and country in Marrowfeld. And he came in and he got up at the band and sung with us. Then the next day he was playing at the Helix in Dublin, and he invited me up on stage for him, you know. Yeah, he's a lovely man. He's cool dude.
Cool. So
it's very sad, you know.
He invited myself and Porrick over to, he had a license for a tomahawk throwing on his, he said, in his land. And he says, I'd love to invite you over. Ireland can play American tomahawk throwing.
Tomahawk throwing?
Yeah, he has the license for it. You have to have it's a big round piece of wood on a tree, and you have to throw the tomahawk.
Right.
I said, if you hang on here of a Saturday night, we could do the whole lot in one. But I remember
it's kind of an old Indian thing, isn't it?
yeah, it's an Indian, but you have to have a license for it.
Right. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, he's very, very, very into. He taught a lot of you.
Yeah.
You know.
He was very. He's kind of a very impressive man to meet.
Yeah.
He was
very.
You know, cool dude. He was.
He's cool and he's not.
Yeah.
No airs or graces. Just.
I think just after that time that I met him, I think he that's the time he was just after getting multiple sclerosis was kicking in.
He
And,
was sick then.
and I think he had a lot of personal problems as well. But it was sad. It's a pity I didn't get the chance to meet him again, because I went over to Nashville a few times and was inquiring about him. But people had said that he hadn't been well and stuff, you know.
And I remember talking about Mick Hanley.
Yeah.
And he was doing something in Dublin, and he says, I was just walking down past the dressing rooms and I heard this guy playing. And then I said, who wrote that song? He says, I did. And I was past the point of wrestling.
Wow.
And then he recorded it from then.
No, sure. That made Mick Hanley.
Oh, made Mick brilliantly.
Give a nice little retirement.
Well, especially
because I remember I read Mick Hanley's book. It's a great book. About the whole thing. It's a great story.
Did he mention me? No.
I think he did, yeah. Page 63.
I have a photograph of myself and Mick, and what it was 1987 in Dundalk. There was that much unemployment. A lot of musicians were unemployed. So they set up a scheme.
Yeah.
The musicians CE scheme. And we were all Lord Rest, Gene Barrels and Harry Herty was there, Bobby Robson, a whole lot of us were in it. And we were doing a lot. You know Desi Wilkinson, the flute player. He's from Belfast, I think.
I'm not sure. No,
Yeah, well, we were all on it, and the girl, Constance Shorter, was over it, said we're going to have a concert in the town hall. We were upstairs in the dressing room. That was our quarters. And we charged all the schools 50 cents in. And we were there sitting one day, and she handed us a tape of Mick Hanley. She says, this guy will be on the stage with us. And we learned all the tracks he wanted. And it was an amazing, it was Keith Donald as well, you know, the sax. Yeah. There's a great photograph of myself, Keith, and Mick playing. And I always said, I wonder, does he know me now? Probably not. But you're going to do another track.
Nobody ever forget that face.
Oh, how could you forget it?
It's not a face for radio, it's a face for TV.
Listen, what about another track?
Okay, yeah. Shall do
this, before we do it, this has been launched on Friday the
8th of July.
The 8th of July.
In the Spirit Store with the full band. Yeah.
That's great. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So.
And just to let people know that from the build up to the 8th of July, from next week on Good Morning Dundalk, this is our album of the week.
Oh, brilliant.
So we will give that a spin and let everyone know. And that's before the Power Quigley fella gets. You're in with him next week.
I'm in with him next tour. So
I don't mind him.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your next track?
I can't say nothing about Porrick now. He's born on the same day as me.
Oh, same year? No.
Same day. Yeah, same
day.
Yeah, we were born same day. Because I played it at his 18th birthday party when I was 18. So I had to go to work on my 18th birthday for his party, but his mother came out with a cake for me as well.
Oh, that was nice. And I played at his 40th.
No, I think I went up. Sure, I went up and did a little.
That's right.
I played before you, up in the jail. And yeah. Sure, I did a set before you. I remember that.
Tara now.
Gino was still alive.
Gino was still alive then, yeah. And if I'd have Gino around my neck, that's his ashes.
Oh, no way, yeah.
And he's there.
Gino was a lovely fella.
Oh,
great drummer.
Great drummer. Poor Roy Taylor went as well.
Oh, you're joking.
Roy, yeah. Very sad. A lot of top musicians out there, Irish musicians anyway. Yeah. So anyway, what's your song?
Well, I'll do the title track of the album, Come a Long Way. It's a kind of looking back.
Well, from Porrick Quigley's 18th.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, you discovered that as 18th.
Yeah, that was my big.
That was the break.
My big break. Yeah. Okay. This I'll sing this song for Porrick then. Porrick, we've come a long way. All right. 1, 2, 3. was doing the wrong song.
I was thinking it sounded familiar.
Yeah. I was actually going to do the last song.
I thought you were going to sing Happy Birthday.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Come a long way with a heavy price to pay. Well, I'll keep chipping away until my dying day. I've come a long way, that's all I have to say. I did it my own way, and I'll keep digging it to my grave. So many winding roads I've roamed through many lands. I got shipwrecked on your shore. You took me by the hand. I've come a long way from those dark days of yesterday. Since 1971, 50 years around the sun. I've come a long way to finally see peace in our time. All those troubles behind us, witness through the eyes of a child. There were some bad days with black clouds, then the sun would come shining through. You can't get used to living in the shadows, a fear of losing you. Yeah, I've come a long way. Come a long way from the time I was on top of the hay. Those long hot summer days we were singing in the sun. I've come a long way, kicking football in the fields we'd play. Soldiers up on top of the hill was a time and a place in Jamil. Oh, I've lived many miles behind me, still a few miles up ahead. It's too late to think about turning back, take back what I've done and said. Yeah, I've come a long way. Come a long way. Though you can't stop me now. Come a long way. Yeah, I've come a long way. I've gone too far now to turn around. I'm not turning back now. I've come a long way. Yeah, I've come a long way. Still got a long way to go. A long way to go. I've come a long way. Yeah, I've come a long way. I don't know where I'm going. Still don't know where I'm going. So come on. So come along with me.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Excellent. You'd know that was written about for Silverbridge.
Yeah.
You know, you get
soldiers up on top of the hill. That gives it away.
And you know, even that, you know, I've come a long way. I've seen peace in my time. You know, it's a very prominent song. You know, about that era. But you growing up,
Yeah, but I suppose like when I was growing up, you know, we didn't really know what normality was until the Troubles ended, until the British left. You know, it was only then that we actually, now that I know, experienced normal life for the first time. But when when you used to cross the border, you was like going into a different planet.
Oh, yeah,
It was,
yeah.
you know,
And
even
it has
the atmosphere. You know, you could sense in the air. You know, it's just the relaxed vibe down when you went across the border. Everything was so relaxed. You went into cross McGlen or Silverbridge. There was always a tense.
Yeah, as you said. You look up
your
and
backs
you
were
see.
your backs were against the wall. There was always the paranoid feeling of.
But there's a lovely
tenseness.
feeling of that song. It's not, as they say, they're up there and down with Maggie Thatcher, down with us. It feels we have come a long way. Grasp it, you know what I mean?
Well, that's it. You know, it's definitely it's just it's a song was kind of celebrating and looking back at the past, but actually delighted that it is peace in our time. You know,
would it just come to mind to write a song about it? You know, just or any of your songs? Would it just whatever? Would you sit down and straight in?
Yeah, I wouldn't have planned to write that song about that. You know, just probably maybe the title came first, or you know, it's just messing around with the guitars and maybe, you know, I don't know what came in that song first. Maybe it was this maybe a certain line would trigger it off, and then maybe just building up. But I didn't plan to sit down and write a song about that topic really. You know, just kind of.
And would that be how you usually write? Like, what would come first?
Yeah,
what would the process be?
Yeah, I would never sit down to kind of. Right, I'm going to write a song about this or that. You know, maybe it'd just be a feeling or a thing, or maybe you get a few nice chords or something.
Yeah.
Maybe you start vamping, singing over it. You know, and maybe vamping it till something came, and then I record it with my phone and you'd listen back and maybe you'd hear one line, and you know you didn't even know your song, and then you go, right, geez, that was cool. You know,
Yeah.
It was actually it was amazing to watch. I don't know if you've seen the Beatles Get Back thing. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did.
The way McCartney was vamping Get Back, you know, and he was just it was a sweet little man, but then it was a woman, you know, until he just kept going till some words came along, and then the big guy, what do you call him, that worked with them, he was writing Mal Evans.
Oh yeah.
And he was just he'd be there with a notepad because he had no phone to record it back then. So he was just writing down certain, you know, McCartney would be vamping and he'd write down things. And in a way, that's the way, you know.
It happened. But a lot of people think that you're going to sit down and write a song, but it doesn't work like that, you know. Yeah. There is some people that can sit at a piano and write. But I remember even watching Metallica or Queen or anything. Like they go to the studio with an idea, and it's then they write it. And some people come along with different parts.
Yeah, it's a strange one. It's not a waste of studio time.
But
I can afford it.
I don't think people can do that anymore, because I think that was back in the day when whenever, you know, record companies had a lot of money, or they would trust they could throw money. They were picking you up. They were picking you up in a limousine to go to the studio.
Yeah,
I don't think those days are.
But I think
golden age.
I think most of them now, like Metallica, Queen, when they were there, have their own studio. You know, they could take time.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
And you have a studio as well.
I do. Yeah. I have a studio at the house. It's great. You know, been building it up. You know, for the last 10 years. It's.
And would you, if you had an idea, would you go in and do it, record it? Like a rough.
I would just do the rough thing on the phone, and then maybe when it's time when I have it complete enough I'd go in and then maybe lay it down. I'd maybe lay it down with a click track, you know, and then maybe let the lads come in afterwards. Ronnie and Michael put drum and bass down in it, you know.
And there's many's on this.
There's 11 on this new album. Yeah.
Are they've always been in your folder, as to say, or they brand new?
There's eight of those songs were kind of brand new that was written during lockdown, you know.
Oh, a lot of songs written.
There was 3 of them that was I actually recorded for my album Land of Escape in 2018, but they didn't quite fit on that album. But I always wanted to use them in something, but them 3 songs seemed to fit on this record, you know. And didn't even use them for there was an album in between that, the Nashville Calling, and then there's one Locked In and Live. But for some reason, they felt right on this album, you know, because maybe they kind of fitted into that thing, reflective thing, and looking back, and you know, so it kind of. I'm glad that these 3 songs worked out on this record, you know.
Are you the only musical person in your family?
My sister Caroline.
that's Caroline's, right,
Caroline,
yeah.
she writes some of her own stuff.
It's a great album as well.
Yeah, she done a nice
And
album.
your wife as well.
Yeah, and Julianne,
Julianne.
she's a singer, and
Yeah.
and her family is all musical. Jerry
Yeah, well,
Black,
Jerry is it?
Michael's the drummer, and all the
Yeah.
stuff, and Gerald Black as well. He plays
Isn't it
guitar
great?
player. Yeah,
Isn't it great to have a musical family?
Yeah, and watch out for you probably know Julianne's little niece Mia Black.
I see me. Yeah, I'm waiting.
some
To
talent.
something. I'm waiting for something to be sent into the radio.
Yeah. There's something in there's an album on the being worked on
pipeline.
at the minute. So
I'd say it's your studio, is it?
no,
no.
that's
That was going to be my next question. Do you compete for studio time in your own one?
Nah, he wins all the time.
exactly.
But
No competition.
the new album, it's come a long way. That was, of course, the title track.
Yeah.
It's been released now, isn't it, in the Spurso?
It's that's
launched.
That's the album kind of official launch on the Spirit Store on the 8th of July, Saturday 8th of July. So whatever you're doing, get your ass down there.
Get down there,
Get your
Craig.
tickets.
Porry Quigley.
Run it. Yeah.
You get down and celebrate your 50th.
And it's coming out on Spotify and all those platforms this Friday.
And all this was done in your studio.
Yeah, everything's done. All recorded in the studio.
I love this here.
Yeah, that's a shout out for Siobhan Black, English Bee for my sister-in-law who did the cover. She did an amazing job.
Fabulous.
And she out there in Black Rock.
And another musician, Shay.
Yeah, and sure, Siobhan's a singer. They used to remember Mr. Big Stuff.
Yes.
Siobhan was the backing vocalist. And
I think I seen.
Shay was the bass player.
I think I seen a video on Facebook of Mr. Big Stuff in Derry Hill. Somebody put it up.
Yeah, and then of course Ella, she and Siobhan's daughter Ella plays with the Orwells.
Yeah, we
She's
just
with
right.
the Orwells.
I was just talking about them this morning. There's a big festival coming up in the 4th, 5th, and 6th of August in Tolls. It's a weekend festival, and a lot of different bands. There was someone in this morning talking about it, and it's all going for Save the Homeless and Dundalk.
Oh, brilliant!
So it should be a good. You see it about. But what else is on the pipeline apart from the launch? You're doing a lot of touring. Yeah,
well, I'll be going to coming up in August of some dates in Holland and Germany and stuff. In August.
Do you like playing in Holland?
Yeah, I love Holland. Yeah, and Germany as well. It's been going over there nearly. Over 15 years now, over and back, So built up a nice thing over there,
And it's all your own stuff you do.
Yeah.
And what about on the 8th? Your full band be with you in the Spirit?
Full band will be with me, yeah. Julianne as well, hopefully, and Michael Black on drums, Mick McCartney from guitar, and I think Paul McCabe's playing bass will be that night. And open up the show, the playing support is a young lad from Silverbridge as well, Cormac Bourne's. So
heard of him,
Jarlath's brother, Bourne's brother, yeah.
Jesus.
So hopefully there'll be a big Silverbridge contingent.
Yeah, there's a lot of musicians came from Silverbridge.
Yeah.
A lot of people down that area.
Yeah, of course. If people want to buy the album, the only place it is available is at the minute, and probably will be it's direct from the website benreel.com.
Yeah.
BENREEL.com.
Ben Reel.
So cut out the middleman, just come straight to the guy himself.
Yeah. And I'm sure it'll sell very well because there's lovely stuff. It's a lovely cover and lovely stories on it as well.
Yeah, it's
that's a while back, isn't it?
The photograph in the bag, actually, there's a story behind that as well, because that was taken the day after Bruce Springstein at Slane 1985. I was at the concert when I was 13, and that's the reason why I picked up a guitar in the first place.
Right.
So
really?
My brother's wife, Michelle, she was originally Michelle Martin from Dundalk.
Yeah.
She's a Dundalk woman. She took that photograph the day after Springsteen concert.
So that
was the second. So that would have been the 2nd of June,
his moves,
1980. It's the Born in the USA pose.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a headband too.
I didn't see it. I thought you had an accident.
Well, I used to have accents when I was a child. My mother used to have to put a bumper in my head because I used to fall and hit my head. I think that's what happened to me.
Yeah, it's good. There were good
was some
bumps.
brain damage.
Well, they say musicians must have brain damage going out every night and playing to people. But as I was talking to a guy here the other night that he says, do you know what? We watch you for 2 or 3 hours, but we don't see before and after. He says, a good job. And when you see trying to lift speakers up and everything, and then when you go home and they come down from a gig, do you find that as well?
All glamorous. Yeah, well, I when I come back from a gig, I can never just go straight to bed. I have to sit up and maybe for a while and watch TV or something, or just chill out for a while, you know. It's
the only way to come down, because if you go to bed, you can still hear the songs in your head.
Yeah.
It used to be like the old copycat Wham echoes. If you didn't change the tape, the night before it would be on it. You'd be singing away. I used to think Joe Duffy had to.
So somebody starts giving out, but then doesn't like your music. And you say, that's all right for you. I have to listen to myself every night.
That's what you say. Or someone would say, set up something, say, you can leave, I can't.
You said there, Bruce Springstein, you were at that concert, made you pick up a guitar afterward.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a good gig then.
Oh, it was unbelievable. It'll always live in the memory. I seen there lately, and there was a poll in the Irish Times or something that it was voted the best Slane concert of all time.
Oh, I think so.
Oh, yeah. Well, they reckon there was 120,000 people at that concert. It was because people were jumping hedges and everything to get in, and the whole country was at it. It was crazy. And it was back, that was back in the middle bang of the big recession. You know, there was nothing in the country. And I think
how much was a ticket?
15 quid, 15 punt.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because now here's a question.
Right.
Back then, would that still have been would that have felt as heavy as what 120 quid would feel now?
Yeah.
15 quid?
Yeah. Well, probably would have,
Well, you see your wages.
Yeah.
That'd be near. What year was that?
A week's wages might have been only 70 quid or 80 quid. Yeah.
70 quid.
Yeah.
If you were lucky.
Yeah.
So 15 quid's almost a tenth of that.
Even
more than a tenth.
Maybe a younger person probably would only be 50 or 60 quid a week back then.
If they're lucky. Right. And a lot of young people would be. People would be saving for the ticket.
Yeah.
You know, no one is coming up and I won't get any lollipops this week.
No sweets.
No sweets.
My mother wasn't going to let me go to the concert because the year before, I was only 13, and the year before, Bob Dylan concert, there was a riot, and there was actually people. I think there was 2 people drowned in the river. Or something.
That's right. And
it's at Slane. Oh yeah, in Slane. Yeah.
The people of Slane complained.
Yeah.
That it was not to have any more.
Yeah. So she wasn't going to let me go. So I actually went. Saved up pennies and in jars for months and months, and I saved up enough to get the 15 quid and went and bought the ticket myself and came to my mother and says, I've got the ticket and I'm going, you're not stopping me.
Yeah.
And so my brother took me. He came and he took me. He was 18 or 19 at the time. So but he had me on the shoulders.
On the shoulder,
we're nearly up the front at the start of Born in the USA.
And that was it. The move.
That was it.
A bandana, quick.
Yeah. Well, that was it. That was the day I decided. That was the day I decided I want to do what that guy does.
Yeah.
And did you play the guitar at the time?
I didn't play I didn't play the guitar at that time. Yeah. So, but that's when I started to learn the guitar. You know, after that, you know, it shows me holding the guitar at that time.
Yeah,
but I couldn't play it there.
I see that.
It looks good. You're giving away the illusion. You're giving away.
I was just getting the poses right, you know.
Yeah. And I love the shadow in the back.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
But I think it's the same with all my father, Lord rest him. He was a musician, and we all picked up. But I remember when my father was playing, I picked up the guitar. I couldn't play it, but I used to hold it flat like this and just move your hand.
Yeah. When you pull out the CD, you see this one as well. It's me as a baby.
Oh. And is that your brother that talked to you? Is that the brother?
That's the brother that took me there. Yeah. That's him there. Yeah. That's the.
How did he get
brother.
the pram into the concert? You know? But that's fabulous. It looks fantastic. I'll tell you, it does the same.
I think that's the oldest photograph of me there. That baby one is the only one of me as a baby. I think. Yeah. My mother must.
Your mother couldn't get them. You're right. Where is he at a concert? But you see, in those days, mothers would be afraid, really afraid because it was strange. And even now, when you look at Glastonbury now, the crowds of people.
I wouldn't blame her. Like 120,000 people could have got crushed. And then I remember back in the day, if you remember, like a concert in 1985, it wasn't like, very
safety,
very safe.
No.
As you were walking up the Slane, there was bodies strewn. It was like all over the place. There's bodies laying all over the place.
Yeah.
People drunk.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even see they wouldn't make the concert.
Wouldn't even make it. Yeah.
Really?
They bring big bottles of cider and vodka and everything. And it'd be just bodies laying all over the place. It was like a war zone,
Yeah.
And he was going, when I was only 13, I was going, what the heck?
I can't
What's going on here?
This is brilliant.
Were any of them born in the USA? but that's the way,
Not the way it used to be. I remember going to concerts in the 80s and people would be laying on the streets drunk.
Yeah.
You think today, the young ones it's all really very sanitized and well behaved, isn't it?
Sure, it's all safety first when you go on the concert and you can't do this. And I remember being at a Metallica concert in the ODS. And my son, who's the drummer in another band now, he was only about same age as yourself, but 11, 12.
Yeah.
I remember going, and he was always a fan of Lars, the drummer.
Yeah.
We were so far back, I said I'd lift him up. So I lift him up so he could see. They were only doing the sound check. And this guy came over with the Vodafone and he says, sorry, can't be on the... I said, look, he just loves Zara. And I'll never forget this. Your man came back and he says, here. He gave us 2 pink bands. The next time that I seen Metallica was, the Pyrotechnics.
Oh, yeah.
I actually singed my mustache. We were that close. Honest to God, it was serious. And then your man threw plaques out of my son caught 2 of them. It was amazing. I never seen that guy again, so I got Vodafone internet just to say that I got him a job.
I actually saw Metallica about 2 weeks ago. I saw them. They were playing twice in a weekend at a festival.
Where was this?
In Download in the UK.
Oh, right, yeah.
There was 120. I think there's 130,000 people at it.
You're only trying to beat me now.
Yeah. There was 121,300 people.
But you didn't play at Porrick's 18th. No.
But no, they were like really good. They did the Thursday night and then they did Saturday night. And it was a completely different set list each night. So you got like a lot of their catalogue over the weekend. And they were brilliant. Like compared to all the other bands, like even though...
Did they have a big round stage in the middle?
They had the round stage. It was more of a... They had the round, but it was still like the big backdrop. There wasn't the...
So wasn't a stadium...
there was a stadium sort of thing to it. But usually now they just play in the round.
Yeah, they're very intimate.
And they're fucking brilliant. They
just,
nail it every time, They're just...
Can you say that word in this podcast?
Oh, yeah,
100%.
You can say,
shit.
Curse away. They're fucking brilliant.
I was actually sitting here and said, "Cheers, Ben's very nice."
Where's
what time does this go out at? 4 a.m?
And they go out anytime.
Anytime.
You see, on podcasts you can use that, and you want to hear some of the language.
Don't do this next week with Porrick. Don't do it.
No. Keep it clean.
Keep it clean before here. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah. But is it unbelievable how Bruce Springstein going to a concert, 13 years of age, influence your life?
Well, that's it. Yeah. And I got to play with Gary Talent and he played my record in Nashville, the Nashville Calling.
Yeah.
Like, and I got them to sell. Well, actually, I was up at the Springsteen gigs there at
when they were here. Yeah.
When they were here, and
how was he then? Still as good?
Oh yeah, amazing, brilliant. Yeah. But I got given a signed copy of my album, one to Bruce and one to Gary Talent. Lovely. So hopefully he took it home with him.
You would never know,
Yeah.
And then you can imagine him talking in his home and saying, hey, "Who's this guy? 13 when he wasn't allowed to go up and see you."
Yeah.
And but it must be great for people like Bruce Springsteen and including myself. I'm a massive Eagles fan.
Yeah.
To know that they were the people that influenced you.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I'm sure, yeah.
It's massive. Like someone said to me yesterday, that it's 53 years ago. It was 1970. I said, oh yeah. And only when they said it, really. Because when someone says to you, When it was the 70s, I think it was about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's still in there. All the music, like Springsteen. Now, I wouldn't be a fan of Bob Dylan, but a fantastic songwriter.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the sort of guy that I would go to listen to, but I'd go and listen to the Eagles.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's it. Like, I think music keeps you young, you know.
It does.
Keeps I'm still 17 in my own head, you know.
Mentally we are.
Yeah.
It's like I do hear of a Saturday night, and it's all more party atmosphere and everything. And I remember years ago, Lord rest him, Gene Barrels, we were playing in PJ O'Hare's in the beer garden on Sunday afternoon. And Gino was out front. We were set up and everything. And he said, he came in and he's laughing. I said, what are you laughing at? He says, 3 young fellas out to sing. Come on, the 3 young fellas are on here. We go in and see them. You know, but mentally we think we're always young.
You know, what are you talking? Who you were going? What band's on? Where's these old fellas?
But I think it's marvelous. And as I say, you have the full band. This has been launched on the 8th of July in the Spirit Store. And as I say, you can download it from all the platforms from after the 8th, is it?
Well, it's going to be the 30th of June. It's this Friday. 30th of June. It's coming out on all platforms, Spotify and all. Yeah.
It's just it's hard to believe when you mention the 30th of June. On the 29th of June every year in Dundalk, it was known as Bonfire Night.
All right.
And everybody would go out and collect and have a fight.
Don't be giving people ideas.
Yeah, no, I didn't think I'd be sitting here talking to Ben Reel about his album. That'll be lighting the fire. But excellent stuff. Do you want to give us, we're coming close now to an end.
Okay.
Do you want to give us a tune to take us home, as they say?
Okay. Take one. Maybe I'll do the country song on the album. It's a song called Loretto on My Mind.
Is that a place or a woman?
Loretto Lynn.
It's actually a woman.
Loretto
on My Mind. Yeah, it's actually my brother's mother-in-law, and she passed away when she was a great character, real Belfast woman, you know, real old, one of the old school character, you know, and but she passed away, and I was actually on tour in Germany. And so I didn't get to the wake, I didn't get to the funeral, but the night she died, I wrote this song and I sent it to my brother and the wife, you know, just because I knew I wasn't going to make it to this. So that's the least I could do. So there's Loretto on My Mind, yeah. Another light has gone out in this world tonight, but there's a new star in heaven shining bright. You can see her in the sky when you're out in the countryside. She catches my eye, Loretto on my mind. She was a Belfast girl, the finest you'll ever see. She had a great big smile, time for everyone she'd meet. When the troubled times came, she gave only love and peace. One more in heaven tonight, Loretto on my mind. They say the North Star will guide you to Bethlehem, but there's a new star that will lead you straight to heaven. And I will try to follow you I'll be searching for your light. Driving through the night with Loretto on my mind. She was a young girl then when the Elvis came on the scene. When she stepped out in the city, a Belfast beauty queen. Now she's dancing in heaven, jiving with the king. You're a star in the sky, Loretto on my mind. You are one of a kind, Loretto on my mind.
What a beautiful song. It's not just beautiful.
Thank you, buddy.
It's do you know something? I'd say it took a lot of comfort to the family.
Yeah, I think they really appreciated it that night, especially it was the night of the wake, you know. And
very nice.
I sent it over to them. Just a recording on the phone, you know, but I sent it to me, you know. I think
I said I was just.
I think there wasn't a dry house.
The dry house in the A.
A dry house
in the A.
That's another thing too. We are very forgetful.
It was a dry house. No, it wasn't a dry house. I think they were drinking whiskey as well.
Yeah, that was lovely. You know, that could be for any mother. You know.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song.
I was hoping maybe it's one for Daniel O'Donnell. Make me a few money.
License it out. Yeah.
A few shillings.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the new album by Ben Reel is being launched now on the 30th of June. It's on all the music sites, all the Spotify's and the iTunes, and it is available. Cut out the middleman. It's available from Ben at benreel.com, and it's been launched on the 8th of July in the Spirit Store. It's going to be a great night. I've seen some of the videos. I haven't been to one of your concerts yet, but I will. I get eventually. Seen some of it. It's going to be a great night. Ben Reel, musician, songwriter, bullshitter.
Complete bullshitter.
Listen, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thanks very much.
Thanks, lads. Thank you.